Hi, this is Dale with Behind the Bench. Here we are at Iron World Tour in Manchester, and today I'm with Cate Faulkes of the Royal Surrey County Hospital in Surrey, Guildford. Cate has a few things to share today about her experience with Iron Reporter as well as the Iron Chef. Cate?
Do you want to start with the Iron Chef
Sure.
or Iron Reporter?
Oh, let's start with the Iron Chef.
Iron Chef, okay. Yeah, we've basically just got the Iron Chef. It's a relatively recent acquisition, and the reason we got it was to improve the workflow and also to think about how it's going to sort of make loading the chip much more uniform, which I think will be quite a good thing for possibly for things like the ISO standards that are coming in. But if you've got this greater uniformity and you take out the variability of doing things manually on the one touch, and I think it's going to make it a lot easier as well to have multiple operators on it, as it's a much easier platform to use. You've basically got to do your library prep, dilute it down, and then carefully follow the instructions to load it and hit go. And what I like about it particularly is that it's going to, you can put the stuff on overnight, having cleaned your sequencer during the day, and say to it, I want you to finish at 10 o'clock in the morning. You get in at 9, initialise your sequencer, and then you've got 2 chips all nice and ready to go, and you run them and can close the whole thing down and go home. And I think with particularly trying to achieve turnaround times, it's going to be fantastic. Because from a research point of view, because I only work part-time, I've been tending to do the library prep in week 1, and then all the one-touch stuff and the sequencing and data analysis in week 2, and that's not going to run if you're going to do a real service, as it were. So.
Yes, and your talk before mentioned, was it 0 to 60?
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about that? You were talking about starting from true 0, is that correct?
Very much from true 0, yeah. I've show you my age here, but I've not done sequencing for about 20 years. And when I did it, it was a slab gel that I poured myself, S35 sequencing, and you were sitting with an auto rad and a light box and a sort of pencil and paper. And
so
but
that
I had
was
to go
0.
straight, that was my 0, and then my 60 was going straight into NGS.
Yes.
And all the sort of associated, I wouldn't say difficulties, but new experiences with it. It was an extremely fast learning curve, hence the 0 to 60.
Sure. And then now at 60, here it is, you've been able to compress, like you mentioned, that sort of turnaround with the chef. And then can you tell me a little bit then in terms of that 60 on the informatics side? I understand that you also use Iron Reporter to help make things easy. Yeah.
Yes, the bioinformatics was a huge challenge. It's not something I've ever had to deal with before, so yeah, that was definitely 0 to 60 with that as well. So, but it's, I've found sort of a variety of things difficult with it, like what do you do with your no calls, how do you set filters in Iron Reporter, and I've been involved in various validation studies. We did with Freddie Sharkey, we did one with the BRCA validation, one with the colon and lung, and I've also been involved with the Acrometrics cancer hotspot panel. So I've kind of used those and hoping that a lot of once the data gets fed back out the other end, that's going to make a lot of things clearer about what filters do I use and things, because how do you know which ones to go? And I thought, well, at the moment, of course, we know what mutation we've got, so we can go, yeah, it's there, but we found so many other variants as well. So what do you do with those? Because we don't know at the moment if they're real or not, unless you look at them either by qPCR or sequencing by another method to go, yeah, these 2 things agree and actually they're real, or are they an artifact of the system? So
yeah. Well, thank you for
quite hard.
Thank you very much, Cate, for sharing with us today.
No problems.
Follow what we're doing at Iron World at lifetechnologies.com/behind the bench. And if you have any questions for Cate, please feel free to leave it in the comments.
you.